Hello BookTube, it's Ben here from the History File channel. Here today with another weekly reads video. First of all, I should apologise because I probably sound funny and probably look a bit weird as well anyway, or stranger than normal. But I seem to have inherited a chest cold from my youngest son. Well, it's either a chest cold or COVID, but it's really sitting in the middle of my head, making my nose run and making me cough all the time. It's really heavy on my chest, so I apologise for that. First up, I've got a freebie, like a freebie at the end of the video. So if you hang around for that, I shall let you know the information and the web address at the end. But first of all, what I've been reading this week is a good couple of books, about 2.5 I think. It's a bit hard when you're coughing all the time, but I've been reading with the Radical Victorians, The Women and Men Who Dared to Think Differently, written by James Hobson, published by Pen and Sword Books, and priced at £25. Now, I particularly enjoyed this book because I like everything 19th century and everything Victorian, because it's like a whole century of change and new happenings and everything going on in the world. It just seems to me like a really interesting century to read about and discover. And this one kind of looks at, whereas you have the more famous types of Victorian, all the scientists and the people that discovered things and that sort of thing. This is kind of like the next level down, and the ones that kind of look outside, do out the box type thinking. And the various, it's split into 15 chapters, and then it covers things like, let me just get to the page. It covers things like vegetarianism, Anna Kingsford, anti-vivisection, temperance and teetotalism, spiritualism, cremation, women's legal equality, birth control, freedom of the press, atheism, new journalism, radical Christianity, and socialism, just to name sort of a dozen. But and then the book picks out a number of prominent people within those areas of expertise, and it talks about them and lets you know all about them, how they thought and what they tried to introduce. But yeah, it's a really good read. It's nice to find out the people that don't get talked about so much, and how they, how much they've contributed to life in the UK sort of thing and around the world. I particularly enjoyed like everything about the women's movement and equality and that sort of thing. I kind of knew quite a few of the people that mentioned in that, but I especially enjoyed the journalistic section and the temperance movement. It was a really good read, quite fascinating really. So if you're a fan of the Victorian era, I'd certainly recommend this. It's a good read, and that's called Radical Victorians by James Hobson. Right, the second one is Zeppelin Inferno, and that's written by Ian Castle, published by Frontline Books and priced at £25. I really like this one because it focuses all on the German airships, or Zeppelins as they were called, and how they would fly over the channel from Europe, and then they would do like air raids all around the UK. And I think the staggering thing I find about Zeppelins is If you imagine being in 1914 and you're like a 10-year-old kid and you're looking up at the sky and you see one of these great big airships floating towards you. They were huge, great big things. I mean, we're talking like, some of them were like 200 meters long. I just find it fascinating, and I just find them amazing. It gets through to my imagination about how big they must have been and how I might have felt in that situation. But it's really good, and the book looks at eyewitness reports of the time, how people felt and what went on, how did they feel about being bombed by an enemy that they didn't know about, other than this big airship in the sky. And then the book looks at all the places that were bombed. It's got victim lists of those that were killed, and it's just overall a really good read. So you don't read much about Zeppelins, especially in World War One, which was when they were around, and it's just a brilliant topic and subject to find out more about. So that's Zeppelin Inferno, The Forgotten Blitz, 1916, written by Ian Castle, published by Frontline Books, and priced at £25. The other book I've just started reading this morning, I've got a couple of chapters into it, is about naval battles in the Second World War. So excuse me. So I quite like naval battles. I find them fascinating for some reason. So I'm in the middle of that. And the other books I plan to read this week are The First Atomic Bomb, An Alternate History of the Ending of World War II, written by Jim Mangi, or Mangi. It looks at how the world might have ended if they'd just dropped one bomb. And it's like alternate endings. Kind of like a what if book. So I'm going to read that this week, along with, following on from my naval book that I'm currently reading, is I'm going to read Great Naval Battles of the Pacific War, compiled by John Green. And it's the official Admiralty accounts of like the Midway, Coral Sea, Java Sea, Guadalcanal. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, because you don't ever, or certainly here in this country, we don't get to hear much about World War II in the Far East. So they're the two I've read and the two I'm going to read. So that'll be my weekly reads for this week and what's coming up. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. Now, I did say I would give away a freebie. If you visit www.netgalley.com, if you sign up on that website, I'll put a link below this on this video and below in the description. If you visit netgalley.com or co.uk if you're in the UK, it's generally a website where you can pick up or offer to read advanced reading copies. So basically they got a whole load of publishers on the website, and some of them will put forward their advanced reading copies, and you can pick and choose whether to read them or not, or whether you put forward, yes please, I'd like to read so and so, and then someone from the publishers decides whether they allow you to read it. And then all you do once you've read the book, give it a reading, or a rating rather, and a description of what you thought of that book, and then Bob's your uncle, you've got a free copy of a book. The The books are online, so it's like lots of ebooks you can get. There's all types of subjects, from history, geography, fiction, horror, politics, military history. There's loads of types of lots of different subjects. You can peruse the publisher section, pick out any particular publishers you do like and you enjoy their books, and you can go ahead and pick out advanced reading copies that you fancy. And there's no limit, so as much as you can read, whether it's just one book a week you want to read or 3 or 4, it's up to you. So that's netgalley.com or netgalley.co.uk. Sign yourself in. It's quite easy. You build your own little profile. Just say you're an educator, a teacher, or you work with kids, or maybe you work in the bookshop business or something like that, or publishing, and you can easily get these advanced copies and they'll happily send them to you. But it's a good way of getting free copies of upcoming books, so you can kind of see them a bit before other people do. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. Again, I apologise for having the cold. Hopefully it's not COVID, but I've had my injections, so it doesn't matter whether it's COVID or not. But anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. It's very much appreciated. And if you haven't already, please give the video a share or make sure you subscribe to it. So I'll be back very soon, hopefully, and my cold will have gone, with more videos and books that I've got coming in. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time.